they are going to continue giving their message that the president needs to step down now.
All right. Thank you very much for that update. Well, we can now talk to Lina Mujahid. She's in Liberation Square, from what I understand. She's a pro-democracy demonstrator and has been there for the last 7 days and joins us now on the telephone. Lina, so are you still right now in Tahrir Square or Liberation Square? And if you are, what do you see around you?
I'm just in the center.
You're just in the center. Give us a sense of what's going on. What do you see?
All the people, our people are fighting for the morning. We are trying to secure all the entrance because there are so many out there, and they are using guns, they are using fire, they are using everything, and we have nothing. And even other people from us can't reach us here.
Are you able to get out of the square? You say in the center.
No. We are stuck in here. It's been the Holocaust.
So
we are dying.
So
most of us already hurted.
So you are in the middle of the square. There is doesn't sound like there's any way for you to get out. Is that correct?
No. There is no way. Because already they are everywhere. We are just in the center, and we are trying to secure all the entrance. Around, they will kill all of us.
How did the rival groups?
Already most of us are hurted.
How have the rival groups or the pro-Mubarak supporters? How have they managed to secure all of the entrances and the exits to the square?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
How have the rival groups managed to secure all of the entrances and the exits to Liberation Square?
We are just fighting to survive, you know.
Do you see any...
We have nothing. We are using cans, you know, and they are using guns, for the God's sake.
Is there anyone there? What is the military doing at this point?
What?
What is the military doing at this point?
No, they're trying to help us when we came out with those criminals. They took them. That's all. But they are not doing anything. You know, I saw today the army. Some of them crying because they have orders to not be in. You know, so they can't choose others. They are civilians. They are wearing civilians, but they are police officers, criminals. And you know, we took some of them. Okay, they are taking like 200 pounds and Happy Meal or something like that from KFC. I don't know what the hell they are giving them.
Okay.
For 200. Oh, they are killing us.
All right, Lina Mujahid, thank you very much for talking to us and telling us exactly what's going on where you are. We'll have to end it there, but let's just give you, our viewers, a better idea of the geography in and around the area where this violence has broken out. And the focal point, of course, is Liberation Square. That's where Lina is right now. And that's where pro-democracy supporters and the Mubarak supporters have engaged in hand-to-hand fighting and rock throwing. Fighting also broke out along the Qasr al-Nil bridge, and there have been clashes outside the Egyptian Museum, which is near the square. Loud gunfire was heard in that area, and also here, as you can see on your screen, on this street. We can now speak to another one of our reporters on the ground. He's with the pro-government supporters. Tell us the situation where you are.
I want to clarify, I'm actually on the other side of the barricades. I'm inside Tahrir Square with the anti-government demonstrators.
Okay, so you're inside Tahrir Square. Tell us what you're seeing then.
Well, I entered through Qasr al-Nil entrance, and there was no one there except for the anti-government demonstrators who were manning a pretty strict checkpoint. They patted me down and asked for an ID, and then I made my way to the barricades at the museum where I am now, about 100 meters behind the front line, behind which we've got men who are banging sticks rhythmically on the metal barricades along here, kind of keeping up a drum beat. Meanwhile, there's a constant rain of rocks and Molotov cocktails right in front of me. I just saw a guy get hit in the arm by a rock and had to retreat from the front line. But it's quite a bizarre scene back here.
We were just speaking to one of the protesters in Tahrir Square, and she was saying that the pro-democracy protesters like herself are cordoned in the middle of the square and there's no way for them to get out. Is that what you see?
I have to disagree slightly with her. I'm sure she's been here much longer than I have, but there are some entrances, it seems, in the south and west of the square where I entered at Qasr al-Nil Bridge, where they were preparing for an attack. You could see them massing mounds of broken rocks behind the barricades, and it was quite tense, but there were no pro-government demonstrators or protesters at that entrance. There was no one there but the anti-government demonstrators who were preparing.
Okay, and these checkpoints that you refer to, I mean, who's manning these checkpoints?
It's entirely protesters, and it's a motley band of people. It seems at least 50% of them are wearing some kind of bandages. They're all injured, they're limping, they're carrying metal rods or bats, they're carrying rocks. It's like something out of some sort of post-apocalyptic scenario. Everyone seems very tired. They're bringing in food and water from outside, but it's entirely civilian. The army's in the middle of the square, and they're not doing anything.
And where does this seem to be heading? Do you get any sense at all what's going to happen over the next few hours of the evening?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because obviously it seems like the pro-government demonstrators aren't leaving, and the anti-government demonstrators will never leave until they see their demands met. I can tell you that inside the square, the feeling amongst the people guarding the checkpoints is fairly fatalistic. One man I spoke to, his name was Mohammed Aid El-Shakawi. He told me he was the boss of the checkpoint at Qasr al-Nil, and he told me, listen, remember my name, because if I die here tomorrow, I want you to tell my story. And so it seems as if a lot of these people are taking this incredibly seriously, and their impression is that the pro-government demonstrators are here to eliminate them.
All right. Thank you very much for bringing us that update live from Cairo's Liberation Square, the scene of what sounds to be a street battle going on late into the night. It's past 3 o'clock in the morning in Egypt, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of people backing down, neither the pro-democracy nor the pro-Mubarak sides. Do stay with us here on Al Jazeera. We're bringing you, of course, our live and continuing coverage of the battle for Egypt. And coming up, the disruption to business is causing hardship to ordinary Egyptians. Now there are fears that money could be flooding out of the country.
Hello, well, let's just start by checking up on the progress of our tropical cyclone. As you can see clearly, it is making its way across the coastal fringes of Queensland. It will continue to just punch its way further inland. It's a massive beast of a storm. The winds will actually die down quite smartly over the next 24 hours or so, but the rainfall will not. It will cause widespread flooding. There's that heavy rain through much of Thursday. That's going to continue making its way further westwards, and by Friday, it's actually pushing into Northern Territory, but still a fair amount of rain coming back in behind, so further flooding to come for a good part of northern Queensland. Sharp showers too into southeastern parts of Australia, and a little bit of wet weather too into the northwest and indeed down towards Perth. You can see some rather heavy showers here. Heavy rain too making its way across New Zealand, particularly across the South Island through the course of Thursday. I think sheltered by the mountains, it won't be too bad in Wellington with temperatures at around 21 Celsius. Western weather will nudge its way a little further northwards as we go on into the weekend, so do expect to see it turning increasingly wet and windy here as well. The usual rash of showers into Southeast Asia meanwhile, some very heavy downpours once again into Indonesia. Borneo not looking too bad. Heavy showers will cause further problems for the Philippines, but it is largely dry for a good part of Thailand.
All sides, all views, all ways. Al Jazeera. Personal blogs by professional journalists. blogs.aljazeera.net.
From the world to your phone. Al Jazeera Mobile.